Thanksgiving, a time for family, food, and fun. And football. Of course, the Turkey Bowl, a DC tradition, continues. The champions have been crowned in the WCAC and the soccer champs from MD in studio. No leftovers here. It's High School Sports Final, and it's next.
From News Channel 8, this is High School Sports Final.
WJLA playoffs at Anacostia High School, Perry Street Prep, and Sidwell Friends. If you haven't seen the Quakers, they're a really good team. Quarterback Ted Hefter finds Miles Brown in the flat, and he's tough to bring down. Look, it takes a couple of guys to get the job done there. A couple of plays later, Hefter, again, back to pass. Goes a little deeper this time and finds Dylan Reynolds, who got behind the defense. Touchdown, Sidwell Friends. That was all the Quakers would need as they end Perry Street Prep's season 38-0, advancing to the Class A DCSAA title game Saturday afternoon. Hello and thanks for joining us for this edition of High School Sports Final. Check it out, we're not in the studio. We're coming at you live from Eastern High School where the 45th annual Turkey Bowl is going down. Ballou and Woodson taking on one another. Now these teams met up in October and Woodson took care of business winning 26-7. But what would be the story on this Thanksgiving Day? The Knights band rocking out to some Beyonce and Jay-Z instrumentals on the field. Tough day for Rashad Cooper, dropping back to pass, but he's picked off there by Delonte Moore, and he has one thing in mind, and it's a pick six. Look at that, the crowd reacting appropriately. Cooper, again, when it rains, it pours, picked off here by Allende Morris. Allende thought he had another pick six, but try this block out for size. That's Parnell Motley coming in to the rescue to stop the game. Ballou on offense now. They're capitalizing on all of Woodson's mistakes. That's Jordan Clark, found the seam and would explode all the way into the end zone. And so the sideline would also explode because they were pumped and they liked that their guys scored. The crowd chanting Southeast, South-Southeast, where they're from, very proud of it. Ballou leads 12-7. All right, but the reigning champs would weather the storm. Cooper this time finding his guy. That's Christopher Mordecai in the end zone. Shook off a tackle. They would lead 14-12, including the extra point. Last shot here for Ballou. Terry Jones, just a tad too much is on this ball. Throws into triple coverage. Woodson's Charles Peeler comes up with the interception. Your final score, ladies and gentlemen, 16-12. Woodson repeats or two-peat, as the kids were chanting after the game. They move on to play the winner of Gonzaga and Friendship Collegiate. It was a little bit of adversity for you guys, man, down early. Talk about your teammates making big plays when they matter most.
They came in hand, man. I mean, they when we needed a big play, they made big plays. You know, I came out, I made a couple mistakes and stuff, but they made big plays when it was time. So big-time players make big-time plays.
Hey, ugly win. Much better than a good loss. There's no moral victories. You guys fought. We didn't play our football game today, but you know what? At the end of the day, we got a W. That's what it's all about. Winning. And guess what? One thing. What's up, champs? Yeah! What's up, champs?
It's time now for our Artillery Athlete of the Week, and this one takes us out to Waldorf and Thomas Stone. Not the biggest football program in the area, but last week against Potomac, they used their speed, and particularly the speed of Jawan Briscoe. The junior running back had 231 yards rushing on 13 carries. That's an average of nearly 18 yards per touch and 5 touchdowns in the 40-14 upset over Potomac. Coach Paul Friel calls Briscoe special. So congrats to our Artillery Athlete of the Week, Thomas Stone running back Jawan Briscoe. Lots more to get to on this edition of High School Sports Final. We're going to talk some soccer. Whitman, are they a dynasty? We'll talk to them in studio coming up next. And two of the big boys in the area clash in the WCAC Final. We'll have highlights from that game coming up. The 45th annual Turkey Bowl in the city. What has this gathering kind of meant to the city in its long-standing history?
You know, this is so much a part of our tradition here in the city. You know, typically you have different teams every year, but it doesn't matter. You get this place virtually filled up. You get people from all high schools, people who went to, school all over the city. And the trash talking starts the moment the people walk in the stadium. I just walked in when I came in. You know, somebody went to Cardozo, somebody went to Dunbar, where I went to school, and the trash talking started. And that's really a part of it. It's the tradition. It's coming back to be able to see people that you played with, that you played against, and it's the start of your Thanksgiving Day.
It's a great start to the Thanksgiving Day. Now, we've got two great football teams competing, but we've got also one of the best-known bands in the city, just in terms of the vibe and having these young people come out here and be celebrated. What do you think that does for them?
I think it's a tremendous uplift. Ballou has the finest band in the District of Columbia, you know, in our high schools, and it's great to see them out here today. And the game is obviously extraordinary. You know, we've got a 7-6 game at this point. I don't think a lot of people expected that, but, you know, Ballou came to play today, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Let's just say it was a good weekend for one school's soccer program. Take a look at the top 10 standings in girls soccer, and you see a familiar name at the top: the Whitman Vikings. The team, led by Coach Gregory Herbert, won the state title last season, going 16-1-1. So how do you top that, right? A pretty good season? Well, try going undefeated on a way to a repeat. Joining us tonight, the ladies of the Maryland State title girls soccer team, senior goalie Erin McClanahan and junior midfielder Kristen Bissell, along with Coach Herbert. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations. Those are certainly in order. An undefeated season?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
How exciting is that? So, Kristen, game one, is it like game one we're going to go undefeated? Is that the goal? Was that something you guys talked about in preseason, or did it just one game at a time, as they say?
I think in the beginning of the season we were all kind of skeptical on if we could live up to last year, but I think as each game went we thought like, wow, we could definitely go to states and win. So we just tried to take it one game at a time.
Good strategy. Erin, living up to last year's team, is that something that, was it pressure, honestly?
I wouldn't necessarily say there was pressure there, but I mean, I feel like there was, like, individually there were pressure, like, on different, like, for the senior class, definitely, like, we wanted to, like, leave the same way and stuff, and, like, leave this, like, live up to what they did and stuff and accomplish the same stuff.
Outstanding. All right, so these are the players, but Coach, for you, there's that balance of, as a coach, kind of holding your guys accountable and then, you know, working with a new group of girls in a sense. What was your strategy going into the season?
Early in the season, we had so many new players added to the team, and we lost so many talented players. Kind of just getting everyone on the same page and build that team chemistry, because there's a lot of people that didn't know each other. So I think once we got that chemistry issue worked out, the girls really embraced themselves, and when we saw what the final goal was to win a championship, and the girls really worked hard for that.
Let's go to the championship game on a college field, Kristen. I just can't get over the pressure of being undefeated and making it all the way to states. I mean, what goes through you guys' mind when you arrive at the state championship game?
I think at that point there was just like no question, like we had to win. We were already there, like you can't just go to a state final and lose. So we just knew what we had to do.
So you guys were kind of a group of destiny, it sounds like. All right, so we're going in. We're not going to lose, guys. The game ends. Aaron, you actually have won. Take me through those emotions.
Oh my gosh, I can't. It was so awesome. Like, I mean, for me, like my last game, like I wanted so badly to win. Like the whole season meant so much to me, and it was just like so awesome. Like when the game ended, like seeing everyone like running around and like hugging, like it just meant so much. It was amazing.
All right, Coach. So you're in the championship game. It's 1-0 is the score, and obviously this is probably the peak of the competition. It's the championship game. Coaching this group again, what is that like?
It's just an awesome experience. You know, at that point in that part of the season, the girls know what they need to do, and it was fun for me at that point to almost kind of sit back and watch them play the game they love, and that's kind of what I tell the girls all the time. This is something you've grown up loving. Enjoy every moment while you're up here. And we had seniors from last year's team write the girls letters and just tell them, breathe it all in, take it all in. This moment only lasts for a short period of time, and just enjoy and get lost in that moment. I think the girls did a great job of that.
All right, Kristen, you're back. We're inside of a minute. You're back, but Aaron, what would you like to say to the rest of the Vikings coming up behind you in terms of the legacy of this program?
You guys can do it again. I mean, I believe in everyone. You guys are always an awesome team. Good luck. I'll miss you.
All right, where are you headed next year?
I do not know yet, but yeah,
Best of luck. I'm sure you'll land, whether you're playing soccer or not.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right, Kristen, anything you want to shout out your teammates coming back next year? I mean, you'll be back. You'll be a senior.
Yeah.
But you'll know how special it is.
Love you all. BHTH.
That's right.
Good stuff. All right, Coach, congratulations on an incredible season, ladies. Thank you for joining me. I hope the Whitman Vikings keep up their winning ways. Legacies are awesome, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. All right. Again, thanks for joining us. Those were our state champions. Congratulations to them. Still more ahead as we wrap up this edition of High School Sports Final. Don't forget, for the latest scores, highlights, and featured games, you can log on to hssportsfinal.com. Battle of Greenbelt, Duval and Eleanor Roosevelt for the regional title. Duval, led by junior quarterback Antoine Brooks, was a big part of the Tigers getting to this game, but here he's bottled up on this play. Brooks still had 95 yards on the ground. All right, late fourth quarter, the Raiders moving. Mike Mofor on the move. Wait for it. He fakes out our camera woman for the big gain, tackled by Brooks. A couple of plays later, Mofor gets the handoff and breaks a tackle to get into the end zone. Mofor had 176 yards running, that only touchdown. 14-13 Duval with the extra point to come. Roosevelt deciding to go for two, and Carlson Teague rolls out, but his pass is incomplete, so Duval with the 1-point lead. After that, Duval defense stood up, stuffing Roosevelt's next drive, and Duval goes in and upsets previously unbeaten Roosevelt 14-13. The Baloo Knights, ladies and gentlemen, a renowned band, nationally DC's pride performing. But this isn't the only big game going on in town. Now we're going to take you over to the WCAC championship that went down at Byrd Stadium earlier this week. The Mo Collins Championship plaque, DeMatha or Good Counsel would have that one by the end of the day. Who would it be? The Falcons got out to a lead. Check out Muhammad Ibrahim on the misdirection. He's going to bounce off or out of the way. He has a lane, though, plus his speed equals big play down the sidelines, and he's finally tackled. Then it would be Andres Castillo on the design keeper. He cuts back and dives into the end zone. Good Counsel up by 14 in the first half. That's a touchdown. DeMatha would respond, though, down 20-17. It's going to be their quarterback, the youngster, Bo English. Here he is, back to pass. He's going to find Kellen Taylor on the slant. Taylor bounces off one guy, busts through the tackle, and dives toward the end zone, but he's down at the 1-yard line. Next play, though, English on the keeper. He finds that little dimple in the line and stretches to the end zone. DeMatha leads 24-20. Last chance for Good Counsel, driving into DeMatha territory. Castillo back to pass the slant to Keon Payne, and he makes a move, loses the ball, and Darryl Marshall Jr. recovers, ending the Falcons' hopes, and it's shower time for DeMatha. There it is, that shower. We love dousing coach on a cold day. The entire sideline would race over to the students section to celebrate. A great shot by our photographer. DeMatha goes back-to-back WCAC champs. But to be here yet again, how proud are you as a coach?
Words can't describe how proud I am of these guys. A lot of people counted us out early in the year, but these kids believed in the DeMatha way, believed in each other, and they found a way to get it done once again.
Tonight, getting off to a little bit of, or today, getting off to a little bit of a slow start and then kind of picking things up. Was there a moment that you had to get your guys together and say, hey, this is it?
Well, we knew coming out of it that Good Counsel was going to give us everything we could handle, and we just knew that we would find a way. So we didn't want to start that way, but we knew we were always in the game, and our kids did a great job.
What makes this group special, Bo?
Just our heart. We had the greatest heart of any team I've ever been a part of. You know, we never say die. We always keep fighting. That's what we do.
The DeMatha way is being relentless, not fearing anybody, being the alpha dog. So we came in here knowing we were the alpha dog and being confident in our preparation. So that's the DeMatha way, just knowing who we are.
Still more to come as we wrap up this edition of High School Sports Final, so stay right here. speed, intricate passing. That is what defined this season's Whitman boys soccer team. And with the top scorer in the county, the Vikings were certainly tough all season long. In fact, their opponent recently said after a game that Whitman moves the ball faster than any team they had seen all year, and that was in the title game. Joining us tonight is state champion seniors Aaron Tannenbaum, Jeff Rosenberg, and David Mason of the champion Whitman boys soccer team. Fellas, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I asked who is this leading scorer in the county, and the leading scorer in the county is standing by with us.
Yes.
Congratulations on that, David.
Thank you.
Obviously, every great player knows that your team is a huge part of it, but what kind of allowed you to be so successful this year?
I thought our combination play allowed us to get me the ball in good situations that I could capitalize on.
Good stuff. The fastest, or moving the ball, the fastest that they've seen all season. Tell me about the strategy for the Whitman Boys Soccer Club.
Well, kind of the goal of our entire season was to just build our chemistry on the field, off the field, and it really played a big role in keeping the ball talking on the field and all that. And I think on the field we were just working as hard as we can to find the open spaces and look for our support, and we just made it easy for ourselves.
Good stuff. Now, I know speed is certainly a factor in you all's game, but Jeff, how important is it to actually have possession of the ball?
I mean, possession is everything. If you don't have possession, you can't play. So I think one of our main points of our team was winning the ball back when we lose it. Dave always says win it back in 5 seconds. That's our coach, Dave Green. And that's a huge part of what we do, work rate, offense and defense, really.
All right, so state championship. Aaron, you get to that game. You guys have lost 3 games. You had a tie, but for the most part, you haven't lost. Do you walk into that game like, oh, we're not losing this either? I mean, what happens there?
We were certainly confident. We had actually made it mandatory for our team to attend the semifinal, where they played. What was it?
Howard.
Can't remember.
Okay.
Howard
doesn't matter.
Howard lost. Your teammates got you.
Yeah.
Always got your back.
And we saw their weaknesses and their strong points, and so we knew exactly what we were coming up against. But for the most part, we treated it the same way we did every game. We knew we were going to play the exact same way, keep possession style of soccer, and we just knew we had to work hard in the way we knew best, and it ended up working out for us.
Now, we had your ladies, your counterparts, on earlier, and Aaron was saying kind of the same thing as a senior. There's no better way to go out. Pressure for you next year, Dave? Is there pressure?
It's going to be I think a challenge for our team to put even more pressure on ourselves, because I think you can easily come into it thinking I already have won a state championship, but I think we have to work to put added pressure on ourselves to win another one, because I think winning the second one will probably be harder than the first one.
Good stuff, good stuff. All right, guys, give me a most memorable moment from the season, each of you. Think
about that. I'd say our game against Walter Johnson in the regional semifinals. So I wasn't on the team last year, or the year prior. Actually, I went to St. John's my sophomore year and played academy my junior year. But I knew that this was the exact same game we had played the year before, the last season, and we played WJ at Blair, and we lost. And so I knew it meant everything to our team, especially to Jeff. Jeff said it was the worst day of his life when they lost that day. So we were actually being outplayed in the beginning of the game, and we were losing 2-1 at halftime. Came back out. We scored 2 goals early, and then we dominated completely. It was a great feeling.
Nice. Good stuff, Aaron. All right, Jeff, what's your moment?
I have to go to the state championship game.
That's a good moment, right?
Yeah, I mean, all your friends, family in the crowd. Huge crowd at Loyola, and it's actually a really nice stadium. They just redid it a couple years ago. It was an amazing atmosphere, and of course, to finish off your high school career, no better place and time to do it.
In fine form. Jeff, what's your moment? I'm sorry, Dave, what's your moment? I apologize.
I think it was in that Kennedy game, first round, when when I scored the 4th goal. It was I don't know, it was a really nice goal. So, and it was when we knew we were going to the next round. It was so much relief, and I don't know, I ran to the bench and everyone was going crazy. It was so fun.
I will say, I can remember from my playing days, there's nothing quite like having a team, and you guys sound like you have an incredible amount of camaraderie. Fellas, are you off to play college soccer?
It's still up in the air for me. I'm talking to a couple coaches.
Okay.
For me, I'm going up to Colby College up in Maine.
Congratulations. All right. Well, enjoy the run. Fellas,
Thank you.
Congratulations. A tip of the hat to you.
Thank you.
You're 4A state champs, ladies and gentlemen, from Whitman High School. Okay. Thank you for all coming in and joining us. Thanks for the friends at NFHS Network for the highlights. That's where you can find all the Maryland State playoff games. That's all for this edition of High School Sports Final. Don't forget, you can catch every single highlight and story that you saw tonight on our webpage, hssportsfinal.com, plus updates on games during the week. And like us on Facebook, vote for your play of the week. And for all the cast and crew behind the scenes, bring you the highlights of the games. I'm Monica Wagner. See you next week.